Buongiorno, ladies and gentlemen, how are ya? It's the Mr. Sitter podcast, and it is me, Locash. It's Anthony Locascio. We're back after one day's break. I hope you thoroughly missed my voice or my face, dependent, or both, depending on how you consume this little piece of media. I have had COVID all week, and frankly, it's been quite manageable. Until last night, I have been hit by a ton of bricks by this here little virus, the little thing that's going around, and I feel like shit. This ain't gonna bode well for me getting up at 2 and 6 a.m. respectively for the games today. But hey, I'm fucking trooper, man. But I have to say, if you've bought tickets to my show tonight, Dry Run with Tom Whitcomb. Sadly, I will not be there. It will be Tom, and Tom will be joined by another fantastic comedian. We're not sure who at this point, but it's still gonna be great, guys. In fact, it's probably gonna be better for me not being there, given that I'm really sick. So you guys get a better product if you are going. If you're not, hey. So be it. If while you're here, while I've got you, and while we're on this topic, my dates are very slowly being finalised for all of the comedy festivals next year. So if you're listening in Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide, or Sydney, get around that soon. My new show, Heart of Darkness, it's gonna be real good, guys. It's gonna be real. I've been working on this for a long time. It's gonna be real good. Good shit. Okay, let's this is going to be a short episode because we obviously have no matches to cover. I'm just going to give you, this is going to be a sneak peek of what the Mr. Sitter podcast is going to be moving forward. I'm going to chat about some fun things that have happened in the media over the last couple of days, and then we're just going to give our predictions for the matches coming up tonight, and that'll be it. So, shorty today, but a goodie, as they say in the old country. So Morocco's huge rise to strength in this. Huge rise to strength. That's what we're going with, guys. Morocco's success thus far in this tournament was actually predicted by Sofiane Boufal, their left winger, who's had quite the tournament, even though he can't last more than about an hour. There's a viral video that's come out of him saying, "Inshallah, if we make it through the group, which we will make it through the group, we're definitely getting to the quarterfinals." And hey, I fucking rate it, man. Good on him. Also, them coming first, that they wouldn't have expected to cop a Spain, for example, but they handled it with aplomb. And now they have Portugal for their troubles. And we're not going to talk about that game today because it's not tomorrow. But I've got an interesting prediction for that game. Nonetheless, you got to feel. Well, I've seen a lot of news publications express that you've got to feel for their former coach Vahid Halilodzic, who was sacked 5 months after qualifying Morocco for the World Cup. Now, he very famously had a falling out with Hakim Ziyech, sacked him from the squad, and also had a big falling out with Mazraoui of Bayern Munich. And the Moroccan FA said, bring him back. And he was like, no. And they said, well, bye, you're done. And so they sacked him, and they brought in the new coach, who is, of course, the winner of the Champions League, the African Champions League, with a team from Morocco. I really should have researched this a lot harder because I can't remember the guy's name. I don't have it written down in my show notes, but we love him. He's in the running for my coach of the tournament. We're gonna get to the coach of the tournament in the recap episode, the episode after the World Cup finishes. Nonetheless, Vahid Halilodzic, I don't think we should be feeling sorry for this guy at all, because this ain't the first time this has happened to him. He coached the Ivory Coast in 2010, qualified them for the World Cup, and then was sacked before the tournament started, and the same thing happened to him with Japan in 2018. Qualified them for the World Cup, sacked a little bit later. He made it to the 2014 World Cup with Algeria, who he qualified. So, the takeaway is this is clearly a very talented international manager. Also, clearly a fuckhead. Why would he continuously get sacked after leading these countries to the World Cup? Doesn't make any sense. He led Algeria to their best ever finish in 2014, qualifying them for the round of 16. Vahid Halilodzic, what's up, bro? Why you being such a cunt? What's going on? Let me know in the comments why you think he's not a nice guy. Sticking with the African nations, it was revealed a couple of days ago that players from both Cameroon and the Ghana teams had to pay to be called up for their national team for this World Cup. That's the degree to which corruption and bribery and just the general yuckiness surrounding the FAs of these countries and a lot of African countries are. And, Cameroon and Ghana both had their moments in this World Cup. But ultimately, it was a very disappointing showing from both nations, both of whom have had historical, decent runs in the World Cup, especially Ghana when we consider recent history. But it just goes to show, man, if there's disharmony, if there's disquiet, if there's not just a family dynamic within a national team, they ain't going to go nowhere, guys. The same works for club football. There's a reason why Carlo Ancelotti is the best manager in the world, because not only does he instill, a strong sense of football, strong sense of tactics, strong sense of improving players, and the football side is very good, but he's also like a father figure to all these players, and everybody says it. He is the football whisperer. He makes everybody love coming into work every day, love going to training, love winning with their team. And when you don't have that harmony, it just ain't gonna go for you. When you look at the two African teams that did make it out of the group, Morocco, obviously we've discussed, and Senegal, you look at their coaches and the fostering of a wonderful team spirit that they have there, and you see the reason why these teams are so successful. And you will see that, Roberto Mancini, I don't know if you guys have seen the Netflix documentary about Italy winning the Euros, but check it out. It's fantastic and it's not too long. The love that the players have for each other, the team unity, the spirit is one of, if not the key component of their victory in the Euros. And you might say, yeah, well, why didn't they make the World Cup then? And I would say, because fuck you, that's why. That's why they didn't make the World Cup. That's all I know about it. And finally, there's a photo that's come out of all the Portugal players celebrating off the pitch after Gonçalo Ramos scored his first goal the other day against Switzerland. And then there's a photo of Bernardo Silva just standing by the corner flag with his arms folded, not joining in the celebrations. And like, well, what the fuck happened here? Why doesn't he love his teammates? It's actually totally the opposite. Bernardo Silva should be the captain of the fucking Portugal team moving forward after this. He is so smart, this guy. Anybody that watches Bernardo Silva play regularly will know this is like a genius level player. But his IQ extends football IQ. No football IQ. His football IQ extends to knowing the rules so deeply that if all 10 players, outfield players that is, are off the pitch after a team scores, the other team have the right to commence play. So had Bernardo Silva joined his teammates off the pitch, Switzerland could have kicked off and just gone for it with only Diogo Costa in goals to defend them. And Bernardo Silva, so aware of this rule, he neglected to go and celebrate with the rest of his teammates. Bernardo Silva, man. Good stuff, bro. All right, that's the business. That's the business before you. So normally I would do this in the podcast. I would do a little random tidbits of just like goss that came out, and then at this point I would do a case study. I would cover like one very specific funny moment in football, funny story, funny individual, and do a kind of full like 10-15 minute breakdown of that event or person. And then finally we go to the predictions for the action that's coming up. And because I've been sick and that's not what we've been doing, I'm not going to be doing that case study, although one will be coming at you shortly. We're going to preview the Croatia, Brazil, Netherlands, Argentina matches. So Croatia are fucked. A lot of people have come out and said that Croatia are not going to be as fucked as everybody thinks. I flat out disagree. I think that Croatia are cooked here, and their midfield ran out of gas against Japan, who they, won penalties to defeat. And Brazil are only getting cooking. Brazil are only just getting started. It's not going to be quite the massacre that South Korea was, but I think it's going to be a very comfortable 2-0. That is 2-0 to Brazil. And I'm doing this because I'm going to screen grab it and put it on my Instagram as the prediction so that everybody can call me an idiot. 2-0 to Brazil, no problem. 2-0 to Brazil. Check out my melody. yeah, I just don't think that they're going to be able to hold him. It'll be a shame to see Josko Guardiola's tournament come to an end because I think he's been the defender of the tournament. But no one else for Croatia has really impressed me in this tournament. A lot of people are praising Luka Modric. Luka Modric hasn't been decisive. He's just been good because he's old, and you're always impressed because he plays at the top midfield standard and he's really old. But he's actually not done that much in this tournament, and that'll be the end for them. And Livakovic, I may have said this in the episode after Japan, he is going to go back to Croatia a hero, no matter what happens here, because he saved 3 penalties. Those 3, like, he is fluked, he is stumbled into this accidental hero situation because Japan just were like, here, take the ball. That's not me. That's me doing Pep Guardiola, not me doing Japanese accent, for those that might be confused. So, Croatia, gone. See you later. And Brazil will march on to the semi-final to play against the winner of the 6 a.m. match, which is, of course, the Netherlands versus Argentina. Now, this is another one that I think a lot of people have wrong. And this is another one that I think a lot of people that don't really watch football very often will get confused by. Argentina are done, guys. Argentina are done. Everybody sees the fantasy scenarios where, Lionel Messi, single-handedly almost, because every single player that he's in this squad with have just not stepped up at all. You look at the underperformances from basically everybody. Messi is almost single-handedly dragged, except maybe Julian Alvarez. But Messi has basically dragged this Argentina team all the way through this tournament, as he does. The idea is that they're going to beat Netherlands, they're going to meet Brazil in the semi-final, they're going to knock out Brazil, and then they're going to meet Portugal in the final. Portugal having beaten Morocco and then having beaten France or England. We'll talk about who I think is going to go through there. And then it'll be Ronaldo versus Messi in the final. And then whichever one of those legends takes the cup, that'll be the story, right? Unfortunately, football doesn't work that way, guys. Unfortunately, the time for something like that to happen has passed. And the Netherlands are a considerably better team than Argentina. If you watch how they've progressed through this tournament, it's almost like they've conserved their energy all the way through. They've only occasionally had to step it up when necessary. They turned it on in the final quarter of the match against Senegal to make sure that they got those 3 points. That was a really, really underrated game, by the way, guys. I really enjoyed that. Then they managed to draw against Ecuador, who probably could have beat them, but hey, they didn't expend their energy. And then finally they whipped Qatar because everybody whipped Qatar. And then you saw them against USA, and the way that Netherlands had played in the group stage and the way that the USA had been playing, you thought, okay, maybe you fancy the USA here, even though I did predict that the Netherlands would just beat them. Netherlands didn't just beat them, though. The Netherlands handed them their ass. And that's because this Netherlands team has been fermenting. This is what Louis van Gaal does. He is probably the best manager at this entire tournament. In terms of pedigree, absolutely. And I think they're just getting cooking. Memphis Depay finally looked good against USA. And in players like Denzel Dumfries, in Cody Gakpo, in Frankie de Jong, in Virgil van Dijk, in this goalkeeper who is not Remco Pasveer, who we thought was going to start in goals, the great grey man bun. This dude whose name always eludes me. It's the guy who almost became a policeman, basically never played for the Netherlands, and now he's the number one, the super tall guy. He's been sick. Nathan Ake's been sick as the left centre back. Jurriën Timber's a player that I highly rate. These guys are all cooking, man, and they've kind of figured out their ethos. They figured out their identity. Meanwhile, Argentina have absolutely not. Argentina have not played well at any point in this tournament. They've struggled against the likes of Saudi Arabia. They've struggled against the likes of Poland. They've struggled against the likes of Mexico. Obviously, the last two, they got the win over, and then in patches, they struggled against an Australia team who, we weren't good, guys. We punched well above our weights, the Socceroos. But we weren't good, and to have almost allowed Australia to take it to extra time, Argentina aren't good. This is gonna be hard, but this is going to be 3-1 to the Netherlands. The Netherlands are going to knock out Argentina 3-1, and that is going to be all she wrote on Lionel Messi's international career, and everybody's going to be sad. Vegeta's going to be sad. Everybody's going to be sad, but it's going to be the way it is because Argentina just haven't produced the class of player to support this guy. Unfortunately, all these players that are in the team, you look at them in their respective club careers, and they all seem to have done pretty well. But Angel Di Maria is too old. Leandro Paredes is a streaky, hot and cold, not motivated player. He looked really good when he was at Roma, and for a little bit when he was at Zenit St. Petersburg. But he's not a great player. He's okay. Rodrigo De Paul, similar, inconsistent. He can be really, really good when he's the main guy, like he was at Udinese, but I don't think that he is that top caliber player. Lautaro, another guy, super duper streaky. My prediction that he would be the top scorer of the tournament clearly has just eaten a big fat load of dicks. And their defense is suspect. I see nothing but a Netherlands victory here. But these two games are going to be delicious. All the games moving forward are going to be absolutely delicious because the stakes are high. The fillets are smoking weed, guys. Stakes are high. And I'm hoping to have recovered a decent amount because waking up at 2 ain't going to be fun in the state that I'm currently in. But I'm going to do it. Do you know why? Because I fucking promised you, and I've done it every single day, except for last night and the night before, because there were no games. Because today I feel like Italy. Isn't that a fun meme that's been going around? Gianni Infantino, today I feel like Italy because there are no games. Ha ha ha. So funny. Blow me. Wow. COVID plus sleep deprivation ain't a good look on Anthony. So let's hope that I recover real quick. Thanks for listening, guys. Do me a favor and chuck a little review on iTunes. It'll take you 2 seconds. If you enjoy this podcast, tell your mates to subscribe. Do the sharing, if you like it. I know there's a lot of you listening. I know, I get the data. I get the raw data. And then I ask you to do these things and you don't do it. I understand it's a big ask, and I understand you probably can't be fucked. I probably wouldn't be fucked either. I don't think I've ever left a review on a podcast, even the ones that I thoroughly enjoy. So, yeah. Hey, here's the thing. Maybe I'll do 2 episodes moving forward a week, and one will be a Patreon. Yeah, that's where you pledge and you make a payment. That way I can make a bit of money from the podcast, and you guys can pay, I don't know, $3 a month or something, and you can get bonus exclusive content. How cool is that? That could be fun. If I get any indication that this is a good idea from anybody, I'll do it. But if not, I am a man that takes his lead from the people, and you are the people. So, sure. I love that ad. I love that Macca's ad. I know I've hated all the ads, but I love the Macca's ad. Hearing about how they call Macca's, what the nomenclature for Macca's is in every different country, McDo, Mickey D's, all the stuff that they say in all the different countries. And then you've got Carby, who is a big Juventus supporter, who's like, sure, at the end. And then you've got Ted Lasso, Jason Sudeikis, who we're not sure if he's Greek, so we're not sure if we like him. But if you ask any Greek, they're probably going to claim him. That's what we do. Who at the end he's like, yeah, you went to McDonald's without me? Could have asked. That's cool ad. I like that ad. Macca's good for you. So much better than Amazon. Fuck Amazon. That's all I got, guys. I'm obviously stalling for time here. That's all I got today. Thanks for joining me. Do all the things that I've asked for. Especially, raise your daughters. # raise your daughters. That's what we need to remember from this World Cup experience. This has been Mr. Sitter. Love y'all. Wish me luck getting better. And yeah, we'll see if my predictions are right. Ciao.